Welcome to a brand new Relevant Rants, and today's going to be a little different because it's just Tom and I today.
Hey, we got some COVID people out. That's kind of a thing again, isn't it, Alex?
Mike has COVID right now.
Yeah.
He's recovering. He's doing fine though.
Yeah, he was up there with the camp kids.
Yes,
and,
that's probably where it happened.
Yeah. Hey, we're just living with it, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had COVID like a few months ago.
I know.
Yeah.
I've had COVID. I've had the vaccination. No
Same here.
more.
Yeah.
My wife got offered the antibodies last week from one of her specialists. So that's out there as a possibility.
Exactly. Yeah. And obviously, like if you're like at risk, like be safe.
Absolutely.
But like for the average person, like that, just be careful, obviously. But just live life.
It's your choice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. We just saw that LA County School District was up and, like whether they were going to mandate masks or not. And as of this morning, they're not going to, which is a smart idea, isn't it?
It's the first time I feel like they've stopped doing something before they just do it.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was pretty wise of them.
Yeah, we're thinking about what's best for the kids.
Exactly.
And everybody else. I mean, everybody has to make a personal decision. If you're at risk, take care of yourself. Do what you need to, what you feel. And what we do is we feel God leads us.
Yes.
I mean, he led me to get the J&J vaccine after I had COVID. I haven't had another one, but my doctor hasn't pushed it either.
Yes.
Now my wife was offered the antibodies last week, and that's an option. So I think science is catching up. I think all the craziness that we had a year ago and everybody that went that direction, I think we're realizing now that, hey, we're going to live with this thing.
Exactly. We have to. And I think eventually, like because of Omicron and how less severe that became, I think it'll just be like a flu. And I think eventually we'll just stop testing for it because it'll be so like diluted. And like because I'm no scientist, but on average, I believe all viruses, when they mutate, they tend to become less severe. Yeah. And that's when they become the common cold or something like that.
And we saw it. We went through a season here, and I had a lot of friends that have been in the hospital for it over the last 4 or 5 weeks. But now I understand that it's going down and it's not as severe.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people are still having catastrophic symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Mike's symptoms were a little more severe than he thought it would be, and he's managing.
He was knocked out the first couple of days, I think.
Managing. But I think that's the same thing. When I had flu, I had a really strong case of the flu about 7-8 years ago. I mean, it knocked me back, and I was on the bed, and that was really severe. But I got through it, and back on the road again.
Exactly. Yeah. But our main article today, and it's going to be more of a conversation type article. So basically, Hulu has come out and say like we're going to now accept political ads on their platform, and on paper they say that it's going to be neutral, and that the article states like they're not just going to be liberal only, but like they also stated within the article that conservatives are going to be skeptical about it, and I feel like that's really valid because to me. Anytime that they're like, even if they say that they're going to be accepting of either side, I feel like it still tends to lean heavily towards the left. But you have a different opinion on it. But
I think to each his own.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if they're going to open up to both sides.
Exactly.
There's an old saying, and I think it's still around today. It says statistics lie, and people who use statistics are liars. And I think we all have to use them to a modicum and be responsible to it. But you can skew statistics.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, anybody can skew a statistics, and I love data. I'm a data guy. I mean, my academia is computer science. I love bits and bytes. I love how it's logical and orderly and makes sense. But I think statistics are going to skew things, and so if you've got one group coming out like Hulu saying we're going to accept advertising along a political line, people are going to come out and skew that towards how they believe.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to get so you got to have a balanced view. I mean, a lot of people might surprise them when I say this. I watch CNN. I don't like to get all my news from one source.
No, exactly. That's where most of our articles come from.
It's a great source of comedy sometimes for me.
Exactly.
But I'm just being really honest, and I listen to some other conservative outlets that skew it way too far to the other direction.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think you have to self-feed.
Yes.
with what content you're bringing in.
Yeah.
But I think that any type of content creator, which we are a content creator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex, you do a great job. We have Joanna back there behind the camera
Mm-hmm.
and doing a great job. And we put out a daily devotion, which I told Joanna, I think it's sensational.
Mm-hmm.
Where, if you want to go to
DailyFreedom.org.
yeah, and you want to come out, what we
Yeah.
believe in is faith, family, and freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Joanna's been doing a great job coming out with a daily devotional. And it's become my mainstay for
Yeah.
what I'm consuming.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, I want something spiritual.
Yeah.
I want something that's applicable.
Yes.
And I want something that's doable. And I think
Yeah.
doable and applicable are the same thing.
Mhm.
Can't give me something and, want me to do it. I mean, a lot of people
Mhm.
come to me to go workouts because Arnold just came out. He's 74, older than I am.
Oh my gosh,
We
wow.
used to
I
work
didn't
out
realize how old he
together.
is.
And says he works out an hour and a half a day. I think that's too long. I
Yeah.
work out 25 minutes. I
Mhm.
mean, I read a statistic yesterday that people 65 years and older need to
Mhm.
do an hour and a half of exercise a week. So I'm double that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to each his own.
Yeah.
So when people come out with this is what I do, this is how I do it, I think you have to be,
Yeah.
you have to kind of
Mhm.
say what applies to me. So hey, I
Mhm.
like conservative
Yeah.
resources, and I love
Mhm.
what we put out.
Yeah,
You do a great job,
But
Alex.
but to bounce back to the Hulu thing, the reason why I'm like how the article says we're all skeptical.
Yeah.
I feel like I can see Hulu saying like, oh, we'll do both,
Uh-huh.
but unless they're going to do an algorithmic type of scenario where it's like they'll cater the conservative ads to the conservatives that they can like with how they're like data gathering and stuff like that. But the other way I can see it is being like, well, we can't air a conservative ad, like let's say like they want to have like a pro-choice advertisement
Yeah.
or something like that. I can't see them also allowing a pro-life
Something goes
advertisement.
back to back.
Yeah,
I think they should allow it. Maybe not just.
I think
put
they
it
should
back to
too.
back.
but like I don't see them doing it unless they are catering to their demographics that of like, oh, we know this viewer is conservative, so we're going to give them that conservative ad instead of the liberal ad.
Well, I think we can go back to, and I love data. I love data,
Mhm.
and I think data mining is probably one of the biggest wealths of what's going on in the internet right now.
Mhm.
Like trying to find out where people are going. So let's just take it back a little ways to 12, 24 months.
Yeah.
We saw people jump real excitedly from a liberal to conservative viewpoint as far as network news. I mean, CNN did a great job of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is their ratings now?
I probably awful.
I
Right?
think they're in the toilet.
Yeah.
I think they've canceled more of their shows. Where you take a show like Daily Wire,
Mhm.
which we have a affiliation with,
Mhm.
is that you're seeing them go up.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had 2 of their movies in the top 5 of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
They had 3 of their podcasts in the
Mhm.
most watched podcast for June. They
Mhm.
just ended up passing Disney
Yes.
in services. So now you take
Yeah.
a conservative that is giving out information from a conservative basis
Mhm.
that is booming.
And you can also see with the ratings and stuff like that, you always notice with like either Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, you can see the critics trying to pan the
Yes.
the critical rating of these films, but the audience score is in the 90s
Well,
or like at least close to that because it's a contrast of like critics are like we don't like it, and I think there's a little bit of bias to it, but the audiences love it, and they're just going to keep catering to their audience because that's what they want.
hey, you got to do what you got to do, and I think there's some people that would say Disney's made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to show up in their ratings and their revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if that's driving your business,
Mm-hmm.
that is something you have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I know that Mr. Pillow, Mike Lindell, did
Mhm.
sensational, even though they tried to cancel him.
Yep.
And he went completely to a conservative-based advertising.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
So I mean, Hulu goes that direction. You're just going to have to
Mhm.
say, hey, we're going to throw our chips in the middle and
Mm-hmm.
see
Yeah.
how it works out.
You're-
But I love that
Yeah.
capitalism,
Yeah,
though, isn't it?
we were also discussing this earlier. We feel like, I feel like, basically, when it comes to loyalty and stuff like that, I don't really feel like the left is very loyal to itself. They kind of tend to cannibalize themselves, because like the Lindell thing you were talking about. It's like if we see that you're embracing us, or like at least feeling like we have the same values, we'll send you to the moon because that's how we are. It's like it's just It's just good business at that
We,
point.
we've been growing on our 511 media group, just the viewership. So, and we're not throwing anything out there yet, but we're considering it.
Yeah.
Saying if you believe in what we believe in, come on in and be part of us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I was talking to John Haddad last night over at Lucky's Rescue, and we were talking about the dogs that we've been able to help find homes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's just kind of neat to have a collaboration, like you said. We've got an audience that is adopting animals.
Exactly.
You know, and so we're going to keep running those up on lunch break, and 2 more new shows, and I think 3 maybe coming out in September.
Yeah, and it's the whole Jeremy's Razors thing too, because it was what was it, the Harry's Razors or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that it's like if you
they wanted to pick a fight.
Yeah,
Harry's Razors wanted to pick a fight.
Or we're like, oh, we're gonna be like, oh, we can't support this, blah blah blah, and then they're just like, we're gonna make our own.
Yes.
Bye. Like we're now cutting into your competition because you decided to not support us.
Yeah. So, and I think that's great. People can have views. They're gonna have to, whatever side you side up with, you gotta live with. And I love to have conversations with all kinds of people.
Exactly.
We've had that on our lunch break show, where we've had different opinions on our show. We've had it on daily our relative rants.
Yeah.
You know, we've had a lot of topics. Go back and watch them where you know we may not have an agreement. So I mean, I think to each his own.
Oh yeah.
Live and let live. And if somebody wants to know what makes Tom tick, I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this is what I feel makes my life this way. And if you want to know, I'll tell you. If you don't want to know, then hey, I'm good with that too.
Exactly.
Hey, so if you want to find dailyfreedom.org and 511 Media Group, just go out there. We'll have the link to it. I also want to say this. Mike, we hope you get to feeling better. And remember the Winkler family in our prayers.
Absolutely.